Hello fellow adventurers and collectors, Filmaholic here. Today we're kind of be doing a little bit of a sound test, so I figured I'd showcase some of the recent head sculpts that I picked up. So that being said, I picked up a couple lots recently that added to my project list. I don't necessarily need more projects, but I figured they were good prices and I was able to get them fairly cheap. So yeah, that being said, I do have a new microphone and I'm not entirely sure how to use it yet. It's definitely a couple steps higher than the one I previously had, so I apologize if it makes me sound worse or even more monotone than I normally do. But that being said, like I didn't have enough projects on my plate, I added all these heads to my collection and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing with all of them. Some of them might be trade bait, some of them might be sold off, but right now they're just going to be sitting in the parts bin, or at the very least in the back burner. So that being said, I don't recognize this head sculpt, or I recognize it, but I don't know the exact name to it. So if you recognize it, please leave a comment down below as to what figure this comes from or what set. I'd greatly appreciate it. But something in particular that I was glad to have picked up was this Ada Wong head sculpt. Now, for better or worse, the previous owner did customize this one. I had to do a lot of cleanup work on this one, and as you'll notice and see here, a lot of these head sculpts aren't in the best condition, but for the price I paid, I basically got all of them for a steal, so I wasn't too worried about cleaning them up and having to do some customizing of my own. But I was glad to have picked up this Lara Croft head from Sideshow Collectibles, and I am on the fence as to whether or not I want to repaint this one, but only time will tell. Now, something else that I also added into the project bin was this Catwoman from Barbie. At least that's from what I can gather. Not sure what I'm going to be doing with her. Maybe she can be an adventurer or something, but it's a matter of finding a body for her as well. Also included was this elf head. I believe this is from a Goblin Slayer kind of figure, but I'm not entirely sure. But suffice to say, I was glad to add it to the collection, although it's a bit tiny and doesn't fit most of the bodies that I have. So that being said, one that needed a lot of TLC was this head in particular. I don't remember the name offhand, but I'll leave a picture of it here. But unfortunately, this one had a balaclava on it. Ended up staining the face, so I put some acne medicine on it to kind of clean it up a bit. Now, I didn't want to leave you all just with the head sculpts alone, so as we get into the next segment, we'll be going over some of the bodies that I added to my collection as well. So stick with me here, we'll be back. Alright, so waiting on bodies ended up being a lot longer than I anticipated, but we got there in the end. So like I said, still working with this mic, tweaking things a little bit here and there, but regardless, I was able to repaint the head sculpt, or the hair, on the Ada Wong head, along with putting back together that pale World Box body. So what it ended up doing was I got a couple more tan World Box 201 bodies, I believe is what they're called, but basically finished up some customs that I had done or I'd been working on, like this Lara Croft one. I switched it over and I also modified the pants so that they actually look like shorts now. So I'm very pleased with how that one came out. As for these other two, their looks are definitely up in the air. Not necessarily happy with them, especially with the one with the zipper that is broken, so not too sure what I'm going to be doing with those two. If anything, I'm just going to keep them as they are until I come up with a better idea. But more importantly, I bought this Soldier Story body, and playing around with it a little bit here and there, it has its benefits and quirks. For example, the head sculpt I want to put on it is too big, so I ended up having to use my ghetto jerry rigging to get it on there, but we got there in the end, and suffice to say I'm happy with it, but I'm not too sure as to whether or not I'd buy more. Like, I like the construction of it, it seems very strong, but I don't know over time if things will loosen up because of the tolerance not being there or what have you, but only time will tell, unfortunately. So it is a unique look. It's definitely a little bit taller than the Maha Studios body that I have, so here's a little comparison shot of both of them together. But yeah, Not that I'm against the different physique of this, but it seems a little too narrow for my liking, or at least the clothes I have look a little too close to the body, so to speak. So maybe it's the look, maybe it's something I gotta work on, but suffice to say I'm happy with it. But as to whether or not I'll lean on it for future projects is still up in the air. I do like the neck post being detachable, so maybe that's something I'll look into for other customs with the neck post and what have you. So yeah, keeping this video short. Again, I'm experimenting with this new mic. I'm still working on the quirks, so I apologize if it doesn't sound up to par with my other content. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it down below, and if anything, if you want to see more of these projects in particular, just feel free to leave it down below in the comments, because unfortunately this week has been a lot of stuff breaking on me, which is why this has been a little bit longer to produce, because trying to find stuff to replace things and whatnot is not fun, especially waiting on packages to arrive. So if you're patient with me, I'd appreciate it. So, but with that said, I thank you all for watching, and if you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and or subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. I'll catch you all next time.